Today I'm going to share a super simple way to activate and re-educate your core by yourself at home. I came up with this because I find great results doing this in the studio clinic with clients, but I'm there providing sensory input and certain patterns for them and so forth. And I wanted a way for them to be able to do this at home, to continually give that sensory input to their nervous system via the core. So I talk about the shoulders and the hips as being anchor joints. And so I want them to have some sensory input. And this example today is just on the front body, but there are other ways we work with the back body, which I can share in a future video. I've got 4 balls here. They're smaller balls, they're not big. And you could use pillows. You don't have to have small balls at home. You could just use pillows or fold up some hand towels, and they're gonna go under the shoulder and each hip. And because I'll be face down and you won't necessarily be able to see what I'm doing down there, I'm gonna just give you this picture up here. Imagine I have 2 at my hips and these 2 at my shoulders. I'm gonna push into one joint at a time, the shoulders and the hips individually. And then I'm going to push into both shoulders at the same time, both hips at the same time. Do that a few times. Then I'm gonna do both shoulder and hip on one side at the same time, pushing into them. And then I'm going to go into the oppositional or contralateral movement. So opposite shoulder, opposite hip, at the same time pushing down. Now today we're just pushing. Sometimes we do pulling, sometimes we do pushing and pulling, but I'm just starting with very simple to show you this. And this is how I start people for home. So I have the 2 balls at the hip joints and the 2 balls at the shoulder joints. Face down and starting by just pushing into the shoulder, each shoulder individually a few times, and then pushing into the hip, pushing into those a few times, and then doing both shoulders, both hips, both shoulders, both hips, and then same shoulder and hip on the same side. Now ideally I'm pressing for 6 seconds, but I'm just going through it here to show you, and then I can do opposite hip and shoulder, holding those for 6 times. And then I like to do different sorts of patterns. If you find this interesting, let me know. I'd be happy to share some follow-up videos that show you how we progress the patterns in a developmental way. And again, this is all about re-educating the nervous system, especially the trunk body. You'll want to make sure to read my recent post about how the core and the trunk are both expressive and receptive. And so we need this sensory input. Give it a try on yourself, and I'd love to hear how it unfolds for you.